So hey there. So we're at the beginning, the end, beginning of the end. That's a good way to put it. So this is the day before the 1.1 patch drops, and I just wanted to talk about Zenless Zone Zero, what kind of content we had in 1.0. I want to kind of do like a content review over the patches, talking about what's going on, what's cool in the game, and why we're doing this. So anyway, let's talk about first off the endgame content. If I go to the compendium, the challenges is pretty much the end of it. You've got three bosses that are for item upgrades: the Hollow Zero and the Shiyu Defense. Let's go there first. This is, as we would say in like Genshin Impact, it's the Spiral Abyss. It's the Memory of Chaos in Honkai Star Rail, which you've probably seen a bunch of videos of mine by now if you're watching this channel. If not, go check them out. Um, I haven't rushed ahead in content as far as banner pulls. I haven't pulled on one of the two. I pulled on one of the banner characters. I didn't pull on the second one. Because of that, they typically make these to have weaknesses like right now it's Ice and Ether, which are the two characters. Is that one? The Ice on one side, Ether on the other, and Ether is, I can't even look at 6 or 7, is the two characters from patch 1.0. Ellen and Juyan were Ice and Ether, so they've kind of set this up to it. And Ether damage, was it, agents ice damage and ether damage is increased by 20%. I mean, that's your buff. So they want you to pull for that characters. In Honkai Star Rail, we'll make some comparisons. In the 1.0 patch, they had something with Hunt and Erudition characters, which again were the two characters for the banner characters. I mean, Hoyoverse is a business, and I expect them to make money. So of course they're going to make their banner characters relevant to to clearing the content. So, as I said, I don't have the Ether characters, so I'm kind of locked here. I've tried, but my DPS numbers in Part 4 just aren't good enough to get side 1 down because I don't have any electric characters. I haven't leveled any. There's only a few. I don't have them. And then on this side, I tried it, and I'm just too weak because my level cap is 50, and these guys are level 60. It's tough. One of my friends has done it. He's got in B ranks. And he's not whaling. In fact, he's even less put less money into the game than I have. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. I like this. It's something that I'm not rushing towards clearing because we'll get there. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So as far as an endgame mode, I like this. This is what we typically expect in gacha games. Right now, it's only stage 7. They've left room for more, which will probably happen when they add some new locations. But who knows? Like, it's good. It's fun. Playing daily, like I said, I was able to clear everything to S and this with only one of the banner characters. The other mode of endgame content is the Hollow Zero, which is your roguelite mode, which is similar to, say, what's the mode in the Simulated Universe in Honkai Star Rail. I don't think Genshin has a mode similar to this. There's 3 separate zones that when you clear, they're 5, 4, and 3 stages. Once you clear it, you open Nest, which is the final one. Spoilers you haven't gotten here. And you have extra intensities that you could add onto it in order to get like higher bonuses and increase the difficulty. I'm very close to hitting level 50. I'll hit it in the next 3 days or so, depending on how hard I go for it. But I did this today. I've cleared it. Where is it? I've cleared it up to Intensity 2. I haven't done Intensity 3 yet because that would unlock more of them. But I cleared it on Intensity 0 today just to get my weekly done. And it was incredibly easy. The final boss is a multi-phasic boss. I used to play World of Warcraft, and I really like this boss. However, where I'm at with the buffs that you get from doing this run, she's got 3 phases, and I killed her before she hit phase 2 or phase 3. I don't know if that's like a timing based thing or a change that they should implement, or just that, I don't know. I'm not going to say that I'm skilled, but I had enough buffs where it didn't matter. That being said, I probably could have done it on 3. I tried it before and I got RNG'd out of it. But no, this is a really cool endgame mode. I haven't, some of these crazy, I know that another one of the content creators that I follow, Gacha Gamer, talked about how on Intensity 11 this is very impossible, but he also wailed pretty hard. He also kind of skipped ahead. Like, he's over level 50. He might have been excuse me, the first player to reach level 50. So that's kind of kind of wild. Also, so I'm going to talk about some of the criticism on this though. Is that in order to do this during the week, or to get all the credits, like I've done one, but these bounty commissions, you have to clear it 4 times, which I feel like is a lot. Because even in Honkai Star Rail, clearing Simulated Universe, it wasn't that intense, and they've actually made it quicker in the current patches. In patch 2.3, they made it a lot faster to clear it. They only have to do 1 clear a week, and previously you had to do 2. I think that right now, the amount of times that you have to clear Hollow Zero in a week to get the full rewards is just way too many. Hopefully that'll change. I think it is in the next patch. I think you can actually just go to fight the boss at the end. But we'll see. But so far, these are the 2 endgame modes. I'm not, like it said, it's like I've been playing every day since it started, and I haven't exhausted them. I mean, there are whales that have gotten full S's on 7, but if you're a daily player or a low spender, you've still got a lot of content to clear. And that's definitely a good thing, considering it's only patch 1.0. Well, next let's talk about not endgame content, but the regular content. What there is in the game that I mean, like the meat and drink of the game. What are we doing? What are we doing when we don't have end game content to clear? So if we go back to the video archive. So again, the meat and drink of the game, as I've described to my friends, I've had to describe it several times, is that it's a roguelite. It's not a roguelite. It is a game with fast-paced frenetic combat and puzzles, which I'm a big fan of puzzles. Part of me wishes that the puzzles were more complicated, but then I realized that there's a fine balance in creating puzzles where if they're too difficult, I'm just going to look up the answers online because I won't be able to get it. And if they're too easy, I'm going to say I wish this was harder. But they've done pretty good. One of the things you go around town is fixing bang boos and doing visual puzzles, lock puzzles. And they're pretty simple. There's only one that I felt was even like... There's one randomly that's a lot better than the other ones because the other ones are really easy. But again, if they were way too hard, no one would do them. So, or they just look up on YouTube how to do them. As far as like the battle modes, they're kind of cool. I feel like there was enough content. I talked about how when Honkai Star Rail launched, I finished all the content in the game in 9 days. This took me a few weeks, and I still haven't been able to finish these challenge content. They're not particularly hard. The rewards are anything special, so I feel like that's a fair trade-off. I wish that the challenge were harder, and one of the thing about the challenge modes, like I said, there's times on them. I've done a few. What I would love, and I am a content creator of no value, no merit. I have very few people watching this, and I don't know how you will. But if we could take these challenge times and compare them to our friends' challenge times, that would be awesome. I right now it just tells me what my times are, but if I could see a ranking versus my friends, that'd be so cool. But I really love this content. The puzzles I thought were really cool. The combat is just awesome. It keeps me coming back. And the missions they're a lot of fun. And also we have this in Genshin. These are called story quests or character quests. We have the agent archives where we have quests specific to the character or adventures specific to them. And they're a hoot. Like I'm actually still working on Grace's, so I'm not gonna have finished all the content by tomorrow unless I get this one done tonight. But there's what was it? So we had you're required to do one. You're required to do the Soldier 11 one, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 agent quests in 1.0, which is pretty good. I'm a fan. I'm happy about it. Let's look at the agents for a second too. So I've been I rolled on Ellen's banner, which got me a lot of copies of Sakaku. I rolled a little bit on Juyan's banner, which got me a bunch of copies of Nicole, who's a certain character. But as it sits right now, let's not look at that yet. So you look at the characters. I mean, I've been building the first 6: Soldier 11, Lycion, Ellen, Nicole, Sokaku, and Lucy. Also, if you notice here, so the cinemas, the mindscapes are your duplicate copies. One of the things is that I feel I've been able to manage my resources better in the fact that I have two copies. I hit two copies of Soldier 11. I hit her off the beginner banner and I hit her off the regular banner. So I have one less character than most people typically do. I hit Lycan on my limited banner for Ellen, and he is both ice, both in the same faction as Ellen, and an incredible stun character. He's a lot of the content creators consider him S tier. I'd agree. I don't. There's not really. There's only three stun characters in the game right now, and he's one of the best. So he's also ice. So when I got him, I was kind of committed to get Ellen. I wasn't, but that's where I felt like I was. That being said, so I have my core 6. Anby's free, Ben's free, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 of the characters, and I'm missing 5. One of them's a limited banner, Juyan, and the other 4 are 5 stars. Honestly, I've got to give credit to Hoyoverse for this. All these characters are awesome. I was very happy when I pulled Soldier 11, but having played with every character because of their agent missions or through the story quest, I like all of them. I wouldn't have been upset if I would have rolled for Arena or if I would have gotten Grace. I mean, one of my close friends has Grace and he loves her. She's awesome. Kalita is one of these characters that is very underrated right now. One of the top teams that people are playing in the, I'm air quoting here, the meta right now is Soldier 11, who I have, Lucy, who's just a awesome support, and then Kalita is your stunner, which mirrors the other top team of Ellen, Lycan, and support Sokaku. So, yeah, like, I feel like every character right now has value. There's no bad character that you can get. There's a lot of versatility, and the characters coming up that have been previewed for 1.1 and 1.2 only expand the roster and expand the possibilities for teams. So, I love this. I love the character design. I just... this is something that makes me gravitate towards the game, and I'm really happy about it. Leveling them up, like I said, I have my core 6, and I'm not really like starved for resources, and I've only been pre-farming. The money's going to be an issue. I don't know how we're going to get there. I had another friend hit level 50 today and is resource starved like the Dickens. So we'll see how that goes. That was a big complaint I had with Wuthering Waves, was the resource management, and I feel like Zenless Zone Zero is somewhere between... So, out of the 4 games they played, and Wuthering Waves I'm going to just push off to the side because it's not a Hoyoverse game, but I was saying that there's content creators who don't max out levels. Like in Honkai Star Rail, resources are pretty plentiful. It took a little while to get there, but I always feel like I can max out characters. I can fully get their skills all the way up to the max. But in this game, I don't think that's going to happen. It gets really high, and then there's a mechanic. There's something to get level 12. You have to use what's in Genshin they were called crowns to max out a skill, and you only had 3 per character. In this game, you have 5. So those things, the hamster wheels. Let me look at my backpack. I don't even remember what they're called. Storage. Let's find it. All these cute... Everything looks so cute, and I love it. We're going to get to that in a second, too. Here they are. Hamster Cage Pass. These are what you have to use to unlock the final level. I have 3 of them. You probably do, too, if you're playing every day. But that's it. That's how you're going to unlock those max level skills, and that's going to be interesting. Because in Honkai Star Rail, we never had that problem, or it's not something we worried about. But in Genshin, it was definitely a thing. If you loved a character, you triple crowned them. But right now, there's only 3 crowns in the game, as far as I know. There might be... I think there's another 1 or 2, actually, that I haven't gotten from the final levels of the end game that I was just on, the Hollow Zero. But, I don't know. It's not like you're going to be crowning everybody. So last but not least, let's talk about something that... It took me a long time to get my finger on this, put my finger on this, but something that I didn't realize. So... I've got the music on now, and the aesthetic of this game it rules. I love the bright, vibrant colors. I love the background music. I love the feel, the imagery, the world that they've built. And every time I played I went back and watched my review of Wuthering Waves, and I said, you know, like, I love this game, but there's something that I can't get my head around. And it's the fact that the game is so dark. And maybe that's just me, but maybe it's you too, where I want my video games to be an escape. I want happy endings. I want things that make me feel good and make me smile. And in Wuthering Waves, I felt the world was just so dark, so gloomy. The color palette was so gray. It was grays and muted colors. And while it was vibrant, it didn't make me smile. It didn't make me happy. I look at Lumina Square and I want to live here. I want to, you know, I want to explore every facet of this. The colors, the city, it just, it makes me so happy. I don't know if I mentioned this. I did live in Japan for a little while, and the mascots, like every town or every small town has a mascot, and Officer Mew Mew, like he's just a throwback to that. The ramen shops, the talk about milk tea. I almost bought some milk tea today at Costco, and I'm lactose intolerant because I love this game and I love how it makes me feel playing it. I love the aesthetic. I love the background music. I love the realism. I love the fact that I can just go up and talk to like anybody on the street, and you know, they might have a story to tell me. They probably have, one of these guys probably has an HIA coin that I'm missing, and I feel like I need to interact with the world. And they've done a great job in world building, in creating something that I'm really excited about. And Hoyo is always excels at this. Genshin Impact, I've done a few videos on. It's an incredible world. It's an incredible experience playing the game. And it's got that open world freedom. Honkai Star Rail clicks with me on so many levels of reminding me of like classic anime like Galaxy Express 999. The space opera feel, the visual aesthetic. I love Honkai Star Rail, but that doesn't mean that I can't also love a game that has a modern take that reminds me of games that I loved growing up, like Persona. Like, I got Persona 1 for Christmas back in 1997. And I played all of them, and I love that series, and I love that concept. And this is just such a cool modern take on what I'm looking for in a video game, and I'm just literally running around and telling you how much I love the aesthetic of this. And so many people sometimes forget that you have to stop and smell the roses. Like, this is something where I said, you know, I want an hour loop of this background music because it's just awesome. So that's it. That's all I have to say about Zenless Zone Zero 1.0. I feel like it's off to a great start. It's a fantastic game. There's a lot of free-to-play content. And if you're into a game that has got frenetic combat, puzzles, and probably the coolest aesthetic I've seen in years, check this game out. It's worth your time. And, hey, let's just play together. Let's just talk about it. I forgot one thing. So, we were talking about leaderboards. About how that I wish there was a leaderboard for the challenge modes. I know they can do this. I know this is something that's there because if I go into the arcade, there are 2 arcade games right now, and I never thought that I would care about playing Snake or Soul Hounds 3, which is actually just a reskin of one of my favorite video games ever, Mr. Driller, which again, I bought when I was in Japan. I have it for the Game Boy, and it's great. But if I click on my rankings, wait, what the heck? Oh, because I'm looking at Group Hunt, I'm sorry. Click on the rankings, I can see all my friends and see how I compare to them, and they need to get on my level, because I'm at 941, and Krilton's only at 576. Snake, on the other hand, yeah, I'm third. You win this round, Krilton. But this is just awesome. Like, why can't you do this for my leaderboard, for my challenge modes? So that's it. I love this game. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will talk to you later. Have a great morning, noon, or night, wherever you're at. Peace.